Hey guys, we are going to continue working on dimensional analysis. So this is the second practice we have done in our notes. So I want you to do two things. Make sure you have your reference chart. Okay, and remember we go down to the second page. This has all the conversion factors we need. Okay. And if you want to follow along in the notes, here are the journal notes. And we are, let's see, this is the 9th page. Okay, so this is where we are. This is one that if you don't have a copy of the journal notes, it's fine because there's not that much to write. All you need to write is this, and then we'll walk through the table together. Okay? So remember, whenever we're using dimensional analysis, that is our process. Okay? So our process to convert. So whenever we start, remember you start with what you're given. I'm given 45 yards per hour, okay? And then remember we draw what we are converting to. Yards converts to feet, hours converts to minutes, okay? So you should not have something up here like yards to minute. That doesn't make sense. You cannot change a distance into time, okay? You can change distance into distance and time into time, okay? So, first thing, remember, yards, I want to change it into feet. So I want to get rid of yards. So I have yards on top. So where will yards go? And then normally I'm going to go on and put feet up here, but let's just make sure it's on our formula chart. So right here, yards and feet. 1 yard is 3 feet. 1 yard is 3 feet. So since there is a direct conversion, I'm going to go on and put it here. 1 yard is 3 feet. Okay? And you remember every time we put a line, we do cross, cross. Okay? Because our purpose is to get rid of the units we do not want and be left with the units we want. So now you can tell we have feet per hour. I want feet per minute, so we're halfway there. So because we're not there yet, I'm going to go on and draw another line because I want to get rid of hours and change it to minutes. So hours. Hours is where? Bottom. So I put it on top. Then I want to change it into minutes, and we know that there's a conversion there. So 1 hour is 60 minutes, and we should know that, okay? Now, what I do notice is that there is a 0 on bottom here, but that's not a 0. No 0 on top. So I can't do that super easy conversion, okay? But what I can do, I can't do that easy relationship. What I can do, though, is I do know there is a relationship between 3 and 60. Now, if you do not understand relationships, your job is to multiply 45 times 3 times 1. So basically just 45 times 3 and put that on top. And then on bottom you would have 1 times 60 and you put that there. And then you would divide. Okay? So if you don't understand relationships, then I want you to do that. But here we're going to assume that we see this. Okay? These both divide by 3. 3 divided by 3, 1. 60 divided by 3 is 20. Now to take it even a little further, I have another relationship. And that's between 45 and 20. And this is one that some of you aren't going to see. But both of these divide by what number? They divide by 5. So 20 divided by 5, 4, and 45 divided by 5 is 9. So now I've made my numbers a lot smaller. So on top I just have 9 times 1 times 1. And on bottom I have 1 times, and we have a 4 here. 1 times 4. Okay? So now all we need to do is divide it. And we can make it into a decimal. This time I'm actually going to make it mixed because there are a few of you out there that are still struggling with making mixed numbers. Okay? So just like on our practice sheet, we divide this 4 into 9, 2, 1. Remember, this number goes on top, and the denominator stays the same. If you got ahead of me and you divided it, you got 2.25, which is also fine. I just wanted to review this for those of you that still struggle. Okay. Now the next one, it's the same thing, but this time we're going to use metric. And with metric, we move our decimal a lot instead of actually showing the multiplication. So we're going to talk about that. So remember, our first step is start with what you're given, which is 3.3 kilometers per hour per 2 hours. Kilometers, I will change that into meters. Hours will go into minutes. Okay? So now, like I said, we're going to be looking at the metric. So kilometers into meters. So metric is on the right side. Kilometers, meters. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So, km, kilometers I have on top. So if I don't want them, they go on bottom. Okay? And we found there's a direct relationship in our formula chart, so let's put meters. 1 kilometer was 1,000 meters. Okay? Now, we're going to do, remember, every time we do a line, cross, cross. So I have meters per hour, or meters per hours. I want meters per minute, so we're halfway there. We have the meters, now we want the minutes. Okay, so hours I do not want. I want minutes. So where are hours? Where are they going to go? And remember, they go in the opposite position, so we can cross them off. The next question you don't find on your formula chart, it is in your brain. How many minutes and hours are equal to each other? 1 hour is 60 minutes. So since I drew a line, cross, cross. Ooh, look here, I didn't even do that. Okay, now we're ready to solve. So let's do the relationship that we should all know, which is this one. 0, 0. Now, there are more relationships here. I'm not going to deal with them because I want to show you how we do the top here. So if you have 3.3 times 100, when you multiply by 100, remember it's getting bigger. Okay? So, and I'm going to rewrite this, but I'm going to just demonstrate here. This tells me I can move my decimal 1, 2 times, making it bigger. So 1, 2 to the right. So 330 over 6. Okay? If the 100 was on bottom, I would be moving it 1, 2 backwards. Okay? So now if you want to take the time and multiply this out, you absolutely can, but you will end up with 330 over 6. And then we need to divide. Okay, if you don't know your sixes, remember, just write them out somewhere. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. So 6 won't go into 3. 6 will go into 33, 5, which is 30. 3 left. Bring down the 0. 6 into 30, 5, which is 30, and nothing left. Okay, so we have an answer of 55 meters per minute. Okay, so we will do some more metric practice together. Definitely will show up on practice sheets. So, and I will make sure I have a video to show you how to do it. Now, number 3 is 120 quarts per hour into pints per second. So let's do, start with what we're given, 120 per hour, 120 quarts per hour. Please make sure you write those units. That's the critical piece of this, okay? Now this one I can already tell I'm going to have a little bit of a problem with, so we're going to talk about that. So let's put a times. So quarts is going to go into pints, hours into seconds. I know that because it is time. Okay. So quarts into pints. Let's look at our formula chart and see if we have a conversion. Quarts, pints. 1 quart is 2 pints. 1 quart is 2 pints. Where do quarts go? They're up, so we put them down. 1 quart is 2 pints. Since I drew a line, cross, cross. Okay, so now I have pints per hour, and I need pints, I need pints per second. So I don't want the hours. Okay, now, so I want to get rid of hours, so where does hours go? Now, what do we know? What is our conversion? Hours goes to what? Hopefully you know it goes into minutes, right? You know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. So I drew a line, right? Cross, cross. So, but I want pints per second. Right now I'm seeing pints per minute, so we're not there. Pints per second. So I want to get rid of minutes. Where are minutes? Down, so I put them up. What will minutes convert to? Seconds. 1 minute is 60 seconds. So I want you to notice, like, I'm not really doing any math here. All I'm doing is writing down the conversions that I know. Okay? So I drew a line, which means we do cross, cross. Okay. Now let's look. What I do notice is that I have a 0 on top and a 0 on bottom. I see a 0 on bottom here, but I do not see any more zeros on top, which is fine. Okay, and then we'll say, let's just say that we can all see this relationship here. 2 and 6, I think we can. They both divide by, please don't say 3, they both divide by 2. 2 divided by 2, 1. 6 divided by 2, 3. So I know there's another relationship, and if you want to do that, be my guest, but I'm going to do this without. 12 times 1 times 1 times 1, 12. 1 times 3 times 60. 1 times 3 times 60 is 180. Now, you can divide this and make it a decimal, but honestly, we can just simplify it down. So let's do halves. What's half of 12? Because these are even. 6. What's half of 180? 90. So we're getting closer. Both of these are even, so we can do half again. What's half of 6? 3. What's half of 90? 45. And then these both divide by 3. 3 divided by 3, 1. 45 divided by 3 is 15. I know I went through that quick for the sake of time. Now I want you to see if you can try number 4, and I'll let you know you'll get a decimal.